The doors of the Basilica and the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem reopen. Following the relaxation of the anti-contagion measures in the country, it is now possible to visit and participate in the celebrations for no more than 50 people. The gradual reopening after more than 80 days of the Church of the Nativity was announced in Bethlehem, the message of hope of the Latin, Greek Orthodox and Armenian Church responsible for the Basilica. Recent archeological excavations near the Wailing Wall of Jerusalem have uncovered underground rooms and artifacts from various historical periods, the oldest of which dates back to the 1st century AD. The economic consequences of the coronavirus pandemic have not spared the custody of the Holy Land, which in recent weeks has guaranteed its support to the employees of its various facilities. Spring is the season of flowers which can sprout even in very special climatic conditions. The images of the Judas Desert in the Holy Land in recent months are particularly blooming. The doors of the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem reopen. Of course, there is still the obligation to use a mask and disinfectant gel, but after 2 months people can return to visit the most sacred place of Christianity and take part in the celebrations, with a maximum limit of 50 people inside the building.
In questo momento un pellegrino che viene alla Basilica del Santo Sepolcro.
At this moment, the first changes that a pilgrim who comes to the Basilica of the Holy Sepulchre will find will be the door half open and these barriers. At the entrance, he will then find the gel bottle. He is kindly asked to always wear his mask. This is what we can offer today to guarantee the safety of everyone, those who come from outside and us who live inside.
Quelli che abitiamo dentro.
The news comes after several steps. First, the anti-epidemic measures in the country were loosened. Then the Latin, Greek and Armenian churches announced the official reopening, and the celebrations start again with the presence of the faithful. Then the agreement that allows the large wooden door at the entrance to remain open, even if it is not yet possible to access all parts of the Basilica.
Per il momento dobbiamo gestire.
For the moment, we have to gradually manage the transition from the phase of almost total closure, because in reality there never has been a total closure. Inside we continue to celebrate, to a phase of full opening. It is a gradual opening, and it is an opening that must also respect the rules that have been agreed with the police. Certainly this transition will also help us to understand whether or not we are able to manage something that is a little more complex than in normal sanctuaries, where there is a community that manages everything while there are at least 3 communities here.
Che nei normali santuari dove c'è una comunità che gestisce tutto, mentre qui le comunità sono almeno 3.
Early in the morning, the friars who live inside the Basilica welcome the faithful at the entrance, and at the beginning of Mass, celebrated as usual in front of the edicula of the Sepulchre, they welcome them not without emotion. The same of this woman from India.
Before every day coming here, 2 months I cannot every day, my heart tuck, very pain. Today I am very happy, thank you so much.
La speranza ci accompagna.
Hope has always accompanied us. Although the door was closed, the hope of opening it, of receiving Christians again, of showing the holy places, even of bringing them inside ourselves, this hope remains among us.
All'interno, questa speranza rimane tra noi.
After 83 days of closure in the city of Bethlehem, the small door of the Church of the Nativity, the door of humility, hope and mercy, was reopened by the 3 churches responsible after the closure imposed to fight the spread of the coronavirus. Today, May 26, through a statement of the Custodian with the agreement of all 3 communities of the Basilica of the Nativity, we opened this holy place, the shrine of the Nativity, which was closed materially but always spiritually open. We are happy that the time has come for the reopening, To open the door means once again to welcome all the pilgrims who will surely come slowly to this place, and also the local faithful who will surely take part together with the parish priests in the Sunday liturgy and the various celebrations.
A questo luogo santo, anche ai fedeli locali che sicuramente parteciperanno insieme ai parroci.
Μετά από 3 μήνες καραντίνα.
After 83 days of quarantine, today is a special day because we were able, in accordance with the status quo and the instructions of the Ministry of Health, to reopen the Basilica of the Nativity. From this holy place, we send a message of hope to the whole world. We have not stopped praying for the end of this pandemic and for all of you.
We are happy and thankful to God for reopening the church, confronting our believers face to face and pray together and praise the Lord together. It helped supporting the communities, supporting the churches, supporting each other, and giving hand to hand and recovering all these sufferings together. So together we are power. Together we will survive always. Together we will be always victorious.
In accordance with the official declaration issued by the heads of the 3 churches guardians of the Nativity, access to the Basilica may be restricted to a maximum of 50 people without fever or coronavirus symptoms and with the obligation to wear a mask. The archaeological excavations of the Israel Antiquity Authority near the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem have uncovered some underground rooms hidden under a floor. They are remnants of different historical periods, the oldest of which dates back to the 1st century. The first thing we see here is a large Byzantine public building built about 1400 years ago and decorated with large arches, columns and a mosaic floor. However, one question remains unanswered. Can this structure constitute the remains of a Byzantine church? This site also includes Islamic traces. This building was restored in the Abbasid period, about 1,000 years ago, and the floor of one of the 2 rooms is decorated with mosaics showing Abbasid signs intertwined with pieces of marble and granite. This mosaic is considered one of the masterpieces of ancient Islamic art. One of the most important surprises of the site was the discovery of a complex underground system dug in the rock. Here we found 3 rooms connected by stairs entirely carved into the rock, with niches carved into the wall where oil lamps were placed. We found some of these oil lamps together with kitchen utensils. Archaeologist Barak estimates that the construction of this complex can be dated around 50 AD, on the eve of the siege of Jerusalem by the Roman legions and the destruction of the temple. When, in the last phase of the 70s war between Jews and Romans, Roman legions entered the walls, got into the city and destroyed the temple, people probably used this place, which was underground, to hide. Archaeologists have also found inlets in the wall at the entrance for the door hinge and deadbolt, some of which may have been used to store valuables in these rooms. The excavations are still in progress, and who knows, perhaps the most important secrets of this archaeological site near the Wailing Wall are still to be revealed. The economic consequences of the coronavirus pandemic have not spared even the custody of the Holy Land, especially since the pilgrimages have completely stopped and external funding has decreased.
This year the Good Friday collection was not done, and we pay many of our employees with the Good Friday collection. The situation is a little bit critical. But with the help of God and the providence, the custody works since 800 years, and we face many difficulties, other diseases, pests, and so on. So we are still here, and we'll solve the problem that we are facing now.
About 1,100 workers work in various fields in Franciscan institutions in Palestine and Israel, and about 70% of them had to be laid off. But the custody of the Holy Land without hesitation decided to take into account their economic conditions.
We are a church, so we need to take care about the souls, the people, and we cannot send them home and do not do anything, so we try to pay something. The workers from Palestine, they don't have any possibility to receive money from the states, and the custody choose to pay half of their salary. So they are not working, but we have to pay them. So for us this is a little bit difficult in this problem, but the problem is for everybody in this moment, so we are like the other people in the world.
I thank God because I am still an employee of the Custody of the Holy Land, which continues to give me 50% of my monthly salary, through which I support my family until the situation returns to normal. What comes from heaven is accepted from earth. I am grateful, Lord, for everything. May is one of the best times for tourism here, but due to the coronavirus pandemic and the closure of the Church of the Nativity, the streets of the city are empty. My family lives thanks to this small shop which depends mainly on tourism, but as you can see it is empty. All the shops nearby are closed.
Despite the harsh conditions that the Custody of the Holy Land is going through, it has not stopped giving us 50% of our monthly salary. They are still at our side and have not abandoned us. The situation here is sad and discouraging, especially in Bethlehem. I have been working here for 30 years, and this is the first time that I see this empty hotel without pilgrims.
The custody by the Franciscan friars is not limited to the stones of these holy places and to preserving the values that derive from them. But again, their mission goes beyond that and is aimed at preserving the Christian presence constituted by the living stones. When you think of the desert, you think of a place completely devoid of life, plants and water. But here in the Holy Land, in spring you can find flowers, even in the desert. As the prophet Isaiah tells us, the desert and the arid land will rejoice. The dry land will rejoice and blossom. Like the lily it will blossom, rejoice and shout with joy. It's worth taking a walk to see up close and appreciate the spectacle of nature. The Judah Desert has an area of about 1,500 square kilometers and is located in the immediate proximity of Jerusalem. Despite the arid soil and warm climate, spring invites you to contemplate the beauty of life in a vegetation full of different colors and species. You can see plants in the Ein Gedi region as far as the shore of the Dead Sea. The beauty of creation is revealed by making life possible even in a place where it is apparently impossible for this to happen, by proving in facts that the desert can blossom. We continue towards the city of Jerusalem, heading to a place where some species of desert plants are preserved. It is the Botanical Garden, The agronomist engineer Yara works here and explains that the rainy season helps the flowers germinate.
We have a few deserts, the Negev desert and the Judean desert. I'll talk about the Judean desert, which is closer here. It goes between the Mount of Judea till the Dead Sea. And it's a desert because the rain is, the mountains disturb the rain to go, and that's why we don't have rain in this desert. And the period of spring in the desert is very short. We have a very short period of rain, and the rain is not dropping there. The rain comes from the mountains of Jerusalem and Hebron, and it goes to the desert as a rain-off in very huge amounts. And you can go there and see no clouds, and it's not cold and very dry, and then the rain-off comes suddenly in huge amounts. Most of them you'll see every year between the rain period, between January and March. If you'll come now, you'll see only dry herbs. It took almost 2 or 2.5 months, usually it's even less. And I hope next year we'll have even more if we'll have enough rain, because we had lots of plants and lots of seeds, so it's
In the botanical garden, there is a special space where some desert plants are cultivated.
We have in the garden different sections of plants that come from different sections of Israel, and we brought the same soil from the places. Like plants from the coastal area, we brought sand. Plants from the Negev and the desert, we brought the same soil. And the garden here is like a living museum of plants.
Just as life, even the desert, however dry and desolate it may be, can always flourish.